Me and Drizzy back to back, it's getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry. Whoa.
Let's get it, let's get it. You already know the Faison View podcast, man. Back again with another banger. Hey, 254, man. The game has changed, man. The game has changed, bro. You already know with my brother and co-host. You already know you.
How you doing?
We in the building, man. Make sure y'all are tuning in every Thursday, 5 p.m. Liking, sharing, and subscribing. Y'all doing an amazing job, man. We just going up, man. We going up. We improving and getting better. Hey, that 300 mark is coming soon, man. Happy holidays in advance, too.
Merry Christmas, man.
Hey, you already know,
I like
man.
getting in trouble. I like to say Merry Christmas.
And for those, like you just said, who don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays. But Christmas, man, to us, that's my favorite holiday, man. Man, so let's get into the agenda, man. Get into the agenda. First, I ain't even going to say this one. We just got a scenario, so we're going to get to that one when we get to it. That's the first one we want to talk about. Just a scenario. We just going to ask, how forgiving are you as a friend, all right? Hey, man, at what age did you start driving? And what is considered a good driver, man? Hey, we get all these type of talks, man. It's real high debate on what's a good driver. Because I don't really feel like it's any good drivers, man. Like, I don't know. Listen, I don't even know. Because it depends on the criteria, all right? So, which was the hardest transition for you? We spoke on this before, but not in this type of way. Life after high school or life after 21. All right? And, man, monumental day. Just football and the culture, man. Has Deion Sanders changed the game of college football? You know, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. And lastly, would you rather have holiday decorations up all year or never be able to put them up at all? All right. So, man, let's get into the mix, man. First, before we even get into the agenda, man. Hey, shout out to Steph Curry, man. The baby assassin, man. Greatest shooter of all time. Solidified. It was already solidified, man, and we gotta start getting the conversation, man. He's top 10. I'm sorry, he's in my top 10. For a lot of other people, you know, it's a debate, but honestly, nobody's changed the game, like honestly, on this type of level. MJ has. We know that.
The four most influential players of the last 4 decades are MJ, Kobe, Bron, and Steph Curry.
Exactly. That's point blank. And honestly, you gotta sneak in, and it's not even sneaking in. You gotta say AI. You have to say AI. Because he changed how we looked at basketball in the realm of like being yourself.
And he changed the point guard position.
And
point guards weren't elite scorers like him.
Correct. Before
I
agree, man. What Steph has done, man, it's amazing, bro. Because I remember Steph, and I knew he was going to be one of the greats. I didn't know to this level. Nobody probably thought. But after Davidson, because you know I'm a Georgetown fan. After he beat, I'm a Georgetown fan as well as a Michigan fan, basketball-wise. But when he beat Georgetown, when he went on that run, he made like 7, 8 threes. I'm like, this man, he's special. He's different. And what Steph Curry makes him so great is it's an imitation of him. Everybody's not 7 foot or 6'9" or KD or LeBron or those type of athletes. You know, even though Steph Curry's 6'3", but he's still 180. He's still a more
small guy.
You know what I'm saying? Considered a small guy. So meaning a lot of people can do that. You have your Trae Youngs in the league now. He paved the way for a lot of people, and he's changed the game single-handedly. No matter debated if you say whether he made it good or not, because you know it's a lot more threes going up. It's different. Yeah. It's a whole different game. But man, shout out to Steph, man. I had to start that off like that because amazing, man. 2,947 threes.
He's on
and 580 less games than Ray. Monumental, bro. So I want to give him his credit and his just due, man. Top 10 player for me. All right, man. Shout out to Steph. All right, this is the scenario, man. So listen up. You and a friend are out at a casino and y'all playing the slots, bro. You ask the friend to save your seat while you go to the bathroom. Said friend ends up walking away, answering a family emergency call. Like, all right, I got, step away, from the public. A person now sits in the seat of yours in which you told the friend to hold for you. They proceed to win 50K on the machine, all right? They end up winning 50K on the machine. On a scale of 1 to 10, how forgiving you of that friend?
Honestly, it really depends on what the emergency was. Because I feel like you could have sat there and took that call.
How forgiving you of that friend? Like, 1 through 10?
I might be a 6. Can it really depend, bro? Can it be something like I don't know?
It does depend. But honestly,
you said they took that call.
Honestly, whatever's behind that phone, I'm not saying it could be life changing, it could be different.
It was life changing. I'm like,
but I'm just saying, just taking an emergency call. Yeah. So my scale 1 to 10, I don't know how. I'm probably at like a 5. I'm probably half because
I'm gonna go with a 6.
I would debate the situation, but that's 50. That's 50K and just out your pocket. I might be sick. Like if it's not about family, kids, wife, or anything like that. Oh yeah, I might have to see about that. I ain't gonna lie. I've been in this situation. It's been a low key like type of similar situation, but somebody won like 250, and I was telling my boy like, yeah, I'm on this joint. Don't let nobody come back. And somebody ended up winning 250. So that's kind of how I brought the scenario up. And I was tight, bro. And it wasn't like emergency call or nothing, bro. I was so tight. And I'm like, man,
remember that Think Like a Man 2 when Kevin put all his chips on his joint? And he put the bet in the last second. Your man moved it because he thought he wasn't gonna win it. Then he won it.
He won it, bro.
You gotta tee off. You gotta
see me. Like, and honestly, it's not. Honestly, it's not about even the money at a certain point. It's the principle, bro. Like, bro,
I trusted you.
I told you the
and you let me down. You failed me. Like
1 through 10. I don't know. Like, do you feel like I know in certain situations, but do you feel like you're a forgiving person?
Yeah.
You feel like you're forgiving.
Bible says to forgive or your Father in heaven will forgive you. Mm-hmm. I need God's forgiveness, so
I feel that.
And the forgiveness is for you yourself. You don't want to give people the power to change your mood every time you see them and stuff like that. So.
I mean, that's true too. I
try to be a forgiving person. Yeah.
That's fair. I used to I'm gonna be honest. I used to hold grudges to an extent. It just depends on, like you saying, the scenario and the situation. But honestly, as you get older, you start to mature, man. That stuff is a burden on you. Like, it's a burden on your health. This, and situations you just like, all right, this not worth that. But that just like how forgiving our friend you, because I'm like, bruh, 50K down the line, down the drain, bruh. Nah, have you ever been in the lottery? Like I said, been in the lottery. Been to the casino?
No, that's not your
thing. I don't even like gambling, bro, at all. But I can tell why people do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's that urge. Once you hit, it's like, all right, that's a dangerous game playing. I swear, man. At what age did you start driving? And what is considered a good driver? So first, what age you start driving, bro?
I didn't get my license until I was 18.
18. I got mine. I started driving like 15, 16.
You in high school.
Yeah, I started.
You was the only one with a license at one point.
Bro, I started driving 15, 16. Bruh, it's crazy because it's just like how, I mean, even though driving, but how much things change when you see new generations start to drive on the road too. And it's nothing to the new generation. It's just like my gosh, bro, my goodness. Like driving was honestly, before I started driving, I was terrified of driving.
Really?
Like you could ask my people, they would never thought I wanted to drive. I don't know what made me even comfortable start driving, but actually I know because he gonna be watching this. My brother, look here, speeding for no reason. So like, and every time I got in the car, even Mono, like I got passenger seat anxiety, so I cannot. It's hard for me to even drive with people. Cause I don't like the pacing when they drive. People can say I don't drive.
Nah, I've definitely been in a passenger with one of them type of drivers where they get this close to the car, then merge over. You're like, fair, like, why do you have to get so close?
So close to the car and turn. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is the swerve and swerve. No, my biggest pet peeve is the brake. Ma, I know you watching this too. That brake. Why y'all brake? Like, why you gotta brake up on the car? Like why? And then it's not even like breaking up. It'd be like breaking too early, like trying to anticipate, so the car just start. And then the worst, honestly, like I consider a good driver when you really know how to merge and you know how to parallel park. Those are two main things for me. If you know how to do both of those things, I feel like I ain't saying you're a premier driver because it's different situations. Driving is very complex. Like you driving in certain situations, like. Man, I know you know. In daggone Massachusetts,
bro,
happened to drive in Massachusetts.
The streets are so close, and they allow on the street parking on two-way streets.
On two-way streets.
And it's like, how do you?
And then
it snows.
Snow.
and you got to shovel the snow to the side. So now there's snow on the side, but people are still parking on the street, on a two-way street, and now your street's this small trying to drive.
One of the most terrifying stories, bro. When we was trying to risk our life going to Chipotle, bro. Risk our life. Yo, it was snowing bad, but it's kind of like in Boston, in these certain areas, they get rid of the snow quick. It's not like here in the DMV, yo, the whole government closed down if it's 2 inches here. Like there, it's real swift and it's efficient. But one thing that you gotta be careful for is the ice. It's not even the snow as much. Yo, we coming down. You remember where the Chipotle was? Well, I forgot what area that was. But
it was on the way to Worcester.
Yes, on the way to Worcester, but I keep forgetting. It's near Worcester Hospital and stuff. But you going down further. Yo, when I'm telling you, we went like down the hill, bro. We was sliding, bro. The other car was sliding towards us, but it came on our side of the street. Bro, look, bro. It's a turn right here. Thank God, bro. I swear, bro. When I'm telling you, inches. And then the other car hit the car behind us. I'm like, oh my God. Bruh, so I'm just like, I've been in too many situations where it's just frightful, bro, driving.
We was on the shuttle bus. We had 2 campuses, so you had to take the shuttle bus to either campus. So we taking the shuttle bus to the Worcester campus, I go to class, and there's snow. So like, there's snow on the sides because they done piled the snow on the sides of the road. Mm-hmm. People still parking on the streets like to go into these stores and stuff like that. And I always do. I was like, yo, because when we going through that 2-way street. Well, you got a giant shuttle bus, another car coming in, there's mad cars on the street. It's like, I said, watch, eventually it's going to happen. Yep. So we're driving all the way to the Worcester campus. There's cars on the side, there's snow on the side, so now the cars are further in the road. We drive, all I hear was clunk. Yep. I'm like, yo, it just happened. I look back, yo, the side of this other person's car is like hanging all the way out. Because the shuttle bus had like scraped it on the way. I'm like literally like the whole side of the car is hanging out like this. We had to stop and get off the shuttle bus.
It's valid because down there, the shuttle bus drivers are aggressive too.
Yo,
they're aggressive. So like,
I just knew it was gonna happen. It's too much. It's like first you got all this snow that's sticking out on the side. Mm-hmm. Then you trying to park on the side of the street by the snow. So now there's more. So now it's like you're dang near in the street if you park on the side. Literally, and you got this giant shuttle bus coming through. Like I knew it was bound to happen.
And then you remember by the barber shop near Worcester, like they used to really push the snow up. I know that. Image it right there in my head. Honestly, yo. And like honestly, all my friends could really say I'm a good driver. I would say, I mean, and not everybody, but for the majority, I would say, because every situation, I'm telling you, I've been the most clutch person ever driving, bro. Like, bruh, bruh, it's crazy because my experience in that day, remember the Maximum?
Oh yeah,
Maximum, bro. The most legendary car I ever had, bro. The '96 Maximum, bro. Getting through everything.
I think you're a good driver if you, because I mean, I can parallel park, but I can't really do it with that truck. I hate the truck because it's like, no matter how you look at it, it looks like you're too close to whatever you're about to do.
That's difficult.
Like forward and backward. You could have all the room in the world, but that view makes you look like you right here.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to truck drivers too, because that's difficult.
Very difficult. So, but I feel like if you ain't really been in no accidents for real.
I mean, but I don't think accidents depicted, because I've been in like 3-4 accidents.
Well, accidents ain't your fault.
Yeah, but
if you ain't been in no accidents, it's not your fault.
That's true.
That's different. But if you ain't been, but you got people who've been in like mad accidents, all of their fault. Yeah, like you can't drive.
For real. Facts. You gotta give it up.
You can't drive.
You gotta give it up.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, we're moving forward, man. Which was the hardest transition for you, man? We said something similar, but life after high school or life after 21? What was the most difficult transition?
Life after 21.
Life after 21?
Because there's such a routine.
What you think, after 21 or after?
Because even after high school, there's still a routine. It's like, if you've done it right, you know you're going to college at this time. Mm-hmm. Like, you know you got to go to school at this time. So you hanging out. And then you go into school, and then while you're at school, you know you got your class schedule, you playing sport, you working out constantly, you playing sport. You come back, you come back home this time, right. You know you're going back this time, off season comes, you working out.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And so then, but then like after, once just using football as an example, once football is over, it's like, you don't got lifts because you're not on the team no more. You don't got spring board, you're not on the team no more. Mm-hmm. and you leave school, you ain't got no off season because you're not about to play football next year. You're done with school, so like the routine is over.
For sure.
Now you gotta figure out what's next. Like you gotta find your own motivation to work out.
Really?
Like I gained 20 pounds after football season. I went home at 190. I was like, oh snap, because it's like you're so used to constantly working out because it's a routine. But then once it's over, it's like you gotta find yourself. You gotta find your own new job. You're not in college no more, so it's not no set schedule of classes to go to. You don't know where you're gonna go here, you go there. You gotta find a job, you know, and you gotta get back to the swing of things of the new norm. So it's like, I feel like after 21 is a harder transition, just using working out as a standpoint, just trying to find a new routine and the motivation to work out on my own, which I'm definitely I have been for years now. But like after 21, like when football was over, college was over, it was a little difficult trying to, you know,
put pieces together.
And be consistent.
I respect that answer because that's a real good answer. Because I was gonna go otherwise at the high school, but you explaining like that made perfect sense because in the way life after 21, it's adulthood. It's adulting time. You gotta apply all the things that you learned from high school until now, and you really have to transition through it all.
Honestly, anything can happen.
And anything can happen, and also it just honestly, it's really more so after 21 about setting your priorities, your responsibilities, and being accountable for all of your actions. Because life after 21, that's when it gets real. That's when bills start to come. That's when you have to apply yourself to get a job. This is when you have to stop. You gotta stop living in limbo. Whatever fun you had in the past, you gotta understand that you
tone it down.
You gotta tone it down. Even though 21, you're still a kid. But life after 21 in general, that's where everything starts. That's where everything it starts. You have honestly, I would say that, and just giving y'all a game, y'all have into you're up. I would say your earlier 20s. I would say up to really 26 to really have it all there to where you want to go with your plans in life. Everything is not just everything in life is not it's subtle, but also I'm saying you just gotta lock in. So it's a different type of mindset. Like he was saying, like at the high school, it's routine depending on what you were doing. Because he put in the realms of football. I feel like it's still difficult, like at the high school, because you're still finding yourself. Life at the high school can mean to a lot of people like, dang, where do I go now? What do I do?
Am I going to school?
Am I going to school? Am I going to get a career? I have all this pressure with family. I'm mentally drained from graduating high school. So you have a lot of things that go both sides. But definitely life after 21, and then for me, maturing, having my son. So it's just a lot in my realm of thinking. I would say life after 21, but life after high school, because I'm realizing that being a high school educator, like understanding what they go through and their stress levels and things. And I've been in that situation, and I'm like, yeah, I understand that's tough because they're in a situation where this is COVID. We ain't never dealing with no situation where we had to be in school, in a physical. And in a high school sense, like in dealing with all this, so it's tough. Learning. So it's definitely tough. So that was a good one, I feel like, and that was a good response by you, brother, for real. Sure. So man, moving forward, man, some breaking news, man. I know we ain't a sports podcast, but we talk about everything on here. So man, let's get into it, man.
Prime time.
Let's get into it, man. Prime time, man. Has Deion Sanders changed the game of college football? He absolutely has changed the game. He's absolutely, bro. Travis Hunter, the number 2 overall cornerback in all of high school. He's going to Jackson State, over Florida State, all these premier teams. And I recall Deion Sanders called this
alma mater,
and he called this over Deion's alma mater.
That's crazy,
and that's
right?
crazy, and that's monumental because it's shifting the culture. It's shifting the culture. Now the HBCUs are going to be the pathway to the league.
Deion has 4 of the top 30 recruits.
Yes, and it's coming soon. It's coming soon. The change is here. And we needed an icon and a pioneer like himself to do that. And it was monumental that he actually has won this championship this year. He's gone through what he's gone through. And honestly, having his sons on the team and prospering, man, Deion he is the greatest cornerback ever, and he is one of the greatest athletes of all time. But what he's doing right now is monumental for the culture and moving forward. Now you're about to have more black coaches trying to go into HBCUs. Now you're going to have more players trying to enter HBCUs. and really be a huge impact to these HBCUs, man. This is big, and there's a lot of people that were doubting it. And for those naysayers, man, you got something coming. You got something coming, bro.
Shout out to Deion, man.
Shout out to Deion.
Sometimes I don't always agree with like how he's doing that. Because sometimes I feel like he gets too caught up in the social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't like the whole Britney runner thing. I get what he was trying to do, but it was like, man, I don't think this girl needs any more press.
I agree.
But at the same time, he is definitely changing the game of HBCUs. He turned that whole program around. The first year around, it's a little rough for him. But this year they won that. They won it all. They won everything. Not only that, like he got. I think he got them a better sponsorship. I think he got them names on the back of their jersey. I remember he fought for that. He got that coming. Now he got top recruits coming in, like
as he should.
You know, so he's definitely changing the game for HBCUs and stuff like that. So, you know, I think it's a wonderful thing. NCAA is gonna be them schools are gonna be a little upset, man, but they're gonna have to. It is what it is.
All right, it is what it is.
I don't think it's gonna change like I think, you know, D1 schools still gonna be D1 schools.
Yeah,
like your top schools are still gonna be your top schools. They're still gonna get good recruits. But I do think you're gonna start seeing
but you
more
wanna know why it's different
go to
too?
HBCUs.
Wanna know why it's different to you? Now it's in the realm in the world that these players are granted likeness for their name and image for their name, so now they can get paid off of their likeness. So now it's different. Now it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't matter what school I go to, but now I'm going to school with and being coached by the greatest cornerback and one of the greatest athletes of all time, and moving the culture forward. Oh yes, of course. Because guess what? Those sponsors are going to come running.
Yeah.
Those sponsors are going to come running.
I had never heard
those deals are going to be coming.
So Deion got that job.
Yeah.
I had never heard of that place.
Yeah, I've heard of Jackson State, but not to be. It wasn't a profound program, and that's why we need people like Deion to be stepping up. Hey, it's going to honestly. After this move and after what happened today, you know, moving forward, it's going to be a big change. Even Mikey Williams committed to his HBCU at man. Look here.
I always had like a low key hate for HBCUs.
It's coming soon.
Because they always made me feel like if I didn't go to one, I wasn't black. And then there was the whole, and then there's this new thing where it's like, you know, you got so many people like Beyonce and Jay and all the people who we're giving out all this money to black kids who went to HBCUs. I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait. So because I didn't go to one, I'm black too. Like, what about me? What about us who went to PWI? We still black because I didn't go to HBCU. I can't get money either. Like, so sometimes I'll be like, I'm low key envious, but overall I get it. Like, you know, it's for us, by us, and things like that. So I'm not good at anyone who goes to HBCU. You good? Like. But there's always like there's something in my heart to be like, dang, so because I didn't go to one, I don't get to say like I'm black, like I got a business because I want money.
You have people that absolutely feel that way. That's not a not valid point at all.
Yeah, and I get it. Like I get why it's happening because that's the place where you're gonna find more black students and you're trying to give the most of your money to a black.
And one thing about it too,
institution. I get it.
And one thing about it too, I just feel like in a way. Of course, everything you said is valid, but also in the same way, we wasn't educated enough. I'm not saying all of us, but we wasn't educated enough because of the propaganda and because of the imaging that we get from the D1 AA schools and the top tier schools. We wasn't educated on that, and not saying that there's nothing wrong with that, but also what just in life, bro, and us as a people, understanding our culture and coming together. That's really, honestly, that's really what it's all about in the grand scheme of things. And it's not saying, like you said, you can't be over here and reap the benefits of it. But also, I feel like now, why I like it, because it's being more popularized because it was never so popularized only in our community. Now it's outside of our community. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel that, man. That was a good point. And also, man, shout out to Deion Sanders, man. Shout out to Prime, for real. And shout out to, your boy Travis Hunter, man, for making that move. Yeah. Because that was big. That was big, man. So let's get into the last, you already know, would you rather. Would you rather have decorations up all year, or would you never, be able to put them up again? So,
I'm going to go,
what would you choose?
As much as I hate people who put the decorations up too early, I would have to pick, rather have them up all year. One, because I do want to be able to put them up, but secondly, I think it's because of my aunt, God rest her soul, she had these, we had an in-law suite, so she technically lived with us. you go to her place, she always had her Christmas stuff up.
Right.
And she had these snowflake lights hanging over across her window. They were always on. Like, I don't know how these lights stayed on all day, all night for like 4 or 5 years. They never burnt out. They was, even after she passed, they were still hanging up. They were still on. I don't know how that happened, but I don't know how she made that work. She never changed the battery. They just stayed on. But she always had them up. She always kept them on. And she always had her little animatronic Christmas joints sitting up. So I think just thinking about my aunt in that regard, she kept her stuff up all year. So just thinking about her, I would definitely do that.
I feel that. That would be that's hard for me to choose, honestly, because I'm one of those people, like, if it's up, I'll keep it up for a good while. But also, I'm one of those people that get annoyed with putting it away. So it's like one of those things. You just like, I don't know. But honestly, me growing up celebratory, like just in holiday spirit. My people's always made sure that we had good holidays. So I would have to go with that because my mother, she always deal with the decor. She be doing special stuff, like even in here, it's glowing right now. So that would be hard for me to not ever have them up again. You know what I'm saying? That would be hard for me not to ever have them up.
As soon as I leave here, I gotta
That'd
go.
Be tough.
I gotta go.
Calvary
work out.
See that.
I'm gonna work out, eat, and I gotta decorate the tree. I gotta decorate the tree.
Hey, I feel you.
And I have to fight my sister to do it this year because she don't live with us.
That's
so
what we about to do. We about to decorate that tree. You already know, plugged in, man. Leak and Neat, man. You already know, new channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to that too, man. You already know, man. We just getting it in, man. Getting this content in. As you already know, Thursday, 5 p.m., man. Much love to you guys, man. Much love, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Coming back at you soon next week, man. Before Christmas, we gonna get into it, man. Peace.